Mesquite ISD Substitute Handbook for 2017 and 2018. District Procedures for Substitutes. Thank you for serving the children of MISD as a substitute. This handbook is for both substitute teachers, substitute instructional assistants, also referred to as paraprofessionals or paras. Substitute paraprofessionals also include our secretarial clerical positions. All substitutes are a vital part of ensuring that MISD students are successful. It is your responsibility to be very familiar with all the contents of the handbook. You are expected to read and follow the information contained in the handbook. If there is something you do not understand, you should contact the MISD Personnel Substitute Office and ask for assistance. Assignments. All assignments will be scheduled through the district's automated substitute management system, Absence Management, by Frontline. Any extenuating circumstances will be managed through the substitute manager's office. Substitute assignments may change once you have arrived at the school. There are many reasons for a change in assignment, and we are anticipating that you will be positive and flexible. High school and middle school, you will be expected to help cover other classrooms during the teacher's conference period. Cancellations. You are allowed to see jobs 30 days in advance. This allows you as a professional to set your own work schedule. Once you have accepted jobs, please do your best not to schedule other appointments on those days and cancel your substitute jobs. The district asks that you keep cancellations to no more than 3 in a 90-day period. Excessive cancellations may result in you losing the ability to cancel jobs on your own. It could also result in you being restricted to only seeing jobs 2 days in advance in an effort to help you better manage your schedule. Please do not cancel a substitute job for one school to take another job for a favorite teacher or school less than 7 days in advance of the original job's date. Arrival at the assigned campus. Your ID badge must be worn at all times. Promptly sign in on the provided computer, laptop, or iPad notepad. Please be sure to sign out as well at the end of the day. Failure to clock in or out, or to choose the correct charge code, your job type, or task code, the school number, could result in your pay being delayed until the error can be corrected. You should be at your campus by the time listed below, and you should stay at your campus the entire time as well. Do not leave a campus during the school day. If you have completed all of your duties and it is not yet time to leave, you must clear leaving with the campus office. School hours. Substitute work hours. Elementary, 7:30 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. Middle school, 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. High school, 8:10 a.m. until 4:10 p.m. The Academy and Learning Center, 8:10 a.m. until 5:10 p.m. Times may vary on the Learning Center. Please double-check the times on your assignment. Beginning your day. Locate the teacher's schedule, plan book, seating chart, textbooks, and other needed materials and instructions. If you cannot locate these items, you need to check with the grade level coordinator, another teacher for that grade, and/or the office. Follow the program of the regular classroom teacher as closely as possible. It is imperative to follow the schedule to assure continuity during the school day. Acquaint yourself with fire and emergency drill procedures posted in the room. Leave a brief summary of the work completed or not completed and any other information that would be helpful to the returning classroom teacher, general information about the day and any problems. Make sure you leave a list of students that are absent or tardy and send a list of absences to the office. The only constant thing is change. Whenever we experience a change, especially in our routine, we experience some form of stress. As a substitute, you are change. Children, especially younger ones, can manifest their stress in a number of responses to you. They may experience anxiety or fear. This can translate into misbehavior. Helping students deal with change. Introduce yourself. Be enthusiastic. Smile. Follow the schedule as closely as possible, and call students by name whenever possible. Class instruction. Lesson plans provide a framework for instruction. They also are an excellent map for maintaining the daily routine. Students expect instruction in each subject at specified times. A concerted effort should be made to interact with students during teaching. Please be sure that if you are handing out worksheets, you go over all of the directions and complete at least one example of what they should be doing. You may need to come up with a similar question by changing the variables, so you leave the worksheet questions intact for grading. Check for understanding. Not understanding the teacher's directions is a major cause of classroom management issues and student behavior problems. Therefore, no matter what set of directions a teacher gives, the substitute should always check for understanding. When checking to see if a student understands the instructions, ask the student to explain it in their own words what the instructions meant. Injuries. The school nurse. Please immediately report any serious accident or injury, whether it is a student or yourself, to the nurse and principal or assistant principal. Leave information in your note to the teacher about any students that go to the clinic and the reasons they are sent. End-of-day checklist. Check the room for cleanliness and order. Be sure the room is at least as clean and in the same order as you found it. Students should help by cleaning up around their desks at the end of their day or class. You should grade written work that was assigned, unless otherwise indicated. Be sure that your note to the teacher is on their desk, preferably in the same place you found the instructions to you. You must check with the office and clock out before leaving for the day. You are expected to stay for the set hours. School property. The regular classroom teacher is legally and morally responsible for the welfare of all children and is charged with the maintenance of school property. No less is expected of the substitute teacher. Most of the supplemental materials in the classroom are the personal property of the teacher and should be treated with equal care of the district's property. Treat each classroom as carefully as you treat someone's home when you visit. Long-term assignments. Some of you may want to accept positions that are for multiple days or even for several weeks. You are expected to check with the principal about attendance at scheduled staff meetings, conferences, etc. Additionally, you are expected to hold in professional confidence any information regarding pupils, parents, staff, or others. This is true for all substitutes, even if your assignment is for one day. FERPA laws are in place to protect our students and staff. That's the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. Please note these laws apply to all substitutes and pertain to all information you hear or see during the course of your day. Early release. Early release is for students, not staff. You may be required to stay and complete duties assigned by the principal. You must check out with the office before you leave campus for the day. Electronic and computer equipment. Please be sure that you know how to use any of the electronic equipment before you use it. That means document projectors or Promethean boards. If you have any doubts about how to operate the electronic devices, please ask another adult employee to assist you. Please be sure that you know the difference between a Promethean board and a standard dry erase whiteboard. Promethean boards should never be written on with any type of marker, even dry erase markers. A Promethean board is a touch-sensitive projection screen that is used to interact with a computer and overhead projector and document projector. Mesquite ISD Network Access Policy. Substitutes do not have access to network services, including internet and email. Substitutes should not bring any electronic devices that require internet connection to the campus. Any substitute who accepts a long-term position will work with the school principal and teacher to obtain the necessary access information. Dress code. Update on website. Jeans, tennis shoes, shorts, or casual dress is inappropriate for regular classroom assignments. No flip-flops are allowed. Men's shirts should be tucked in and pants belted at the waist. Facial hair for men is allowed, but is expected to be neatly trimmed and should be established. A clean-shaven appearance is expected otherwise. Ladies should be moderately dressed. Leggings should be worn with a top that reaches fingertips when arms are down to your side. No spaghetti strap tops. For additional information, please refer to the pamphlet in the back of the handbook. Additional detailed information is available on the district website, www.mesquiteisd.org. It is located on the employee page of the district website. The first and the last encounter you have with a school and students may hinge upon your dress and grooming. Dress the part of a professional. Alternative Social Security Account. Your online paperwork explained that when working for a school district, you do not pay into the standard Social Security fund with the federal government. Your money is paid into an alternative Social Security account that is currently managed by TCG, Total Compensation Group. You will receive your annual financial statement from TCG once a year, usually in the fall. Please be sure to watch your mail for this statement. Please note, if you decide to no longer work for an independent school district in the state of Texas, you can cash this account in. The disbursement will be taxed and the tax is sent to the federal government directly. Please note, you must not be employed by an independent school district in order to cash in this account. If you choose to resign and cash this account in, you must wait 90 days to return to work for Mesquite ISD. The months of June and July do not count towards this 90-day period. Substitute pay rates. Substitute teacher pay schedule. A regular substitute teacher, meaning those with 60-plus college hours or an associate's degree, get paid $75 as a daily rate and $37.50 for a half day. Degreed substitute teachers, meaning those with a bachelor's or master's degree, get paid $83 as a daily rate and $41.50 for a half day. Certified substitute teachers, meaning those with a current active certification, get paid $90 as a daily rate and $45 for a half day. Mesquite ISD retired certified substitute teachers, those with current active certification, get paid $115 as a daily rate and $57.50 for a half day. Extended assignment, certified. Rate must be approved on a case-by-case basis by Assistant Superintendent of Personnel. $150 daily rate or long-term pay is after 20 consecutive days in the same assignment and is retroactive back to day one of that assignment. Extended assignment, non-certified. Extended assignments for non-certified, the rate must be approved on a case-by-case basis by Assistant Superintendent of Personnel. $90 for the daily rate on long-term pay is after 20 consecutive days in the same assignment and is retroactive back to day one of that assignment. Certificates must be kept current. If your certificate expires, your rate will be reduced to the degreed rate. When you renew your certification, you need to send a copy email or regular mail to the substitute office, which is located at 3819 Town Crossing, Mesquite, 75150, or emailed to tcraig@mesquiteisd.org. Substitute paraprofessional pay. If you are a substitute instructional aide, or clerical or secretary, you get paid $68 per full day or $34 for a half day. Substitute teachers can fill both types of jobs if desired. Please note that if you select a paraprofessional job, your rate of pay is $68 per day. Be careful when selecting jobs on the absence management system. Be sure you are aware of the job type and the pay for that job. Substitute nurse pay, $180 per day. Paycheck information. Substitutes' paychecks are mailed unless you request direct deposit by completing the direct deposit form and providing the necessary documents. If you have direct deposit, you must keep your bank information current in order to keep your paycheck going to the correct location. Please be sure to keep your phone and mailing address current in employee self-service and your email current in the absence management system. Success strategies. To be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late. Locate the office, cafeteria, and adult restrooms in relation to your classroom. Be sure to use the restroom before your day begins. It may be hard once the school day starts to get time to visit the restroom because you cannot leave your students unattended. Once in your classroom, locate the phone, list of pertinent numbers, and the lockdown response information. The lockdown response information is usually located on the wall at the door in a red folder. Review the teacher's notes or lesson plans. If you cannot locate the lesson plans, ask another teacher in your grade level or subject for help, and notify the office. Be pleasant and confident. Introduce yourself to the other classroom teachers in your assigned area. You should record attendance and note absences for the teacher. Elementary attendance needs to be reported to the office by 10 a.m. Begin lessons promptly. Stay with the lesson plan. Please refrain from wasting instructional time with personal stories. Throughout the day, write brief notes on lessons covered and student behavior. Let your class know early your expectations on behavior. If classroom rules are not posted, take a couple of minutes and write on a board or chart your expectations. Please keep the expectations positive in wording. Be flexible, enthusiastic, and have a sense of humor. Be sure to check out with the office. Ask if you will be needed the following day. Please do not eat or drink at the teacher's desk. If you need to cancel an assignment, please do so as early as possible. The substitute office is available at 6:30 a.m. during the school year. Please log into Absence Management System at least once a week to check for web alerts that have information about the district, assignments, or new policies. It is suggested that you log into the Absence Management System every morning to verify that there are no changes in your schedule for the day. Above all, be prompt, patient, and professional. Actions which may lead to removal as a substitute. Habitually reporting late for assignments, more than 3 times. Substitutes are expected to report on time and stay until the end of the workday. Students should never be left unattended in the classroom or anywhere when they are under your responsibility. Under no circumstances should a substitute engage in an argument or physical confrontation with a student. Never touch or physically handle a child. Never photograph a child with a camera or phone. Do not post any information about your class or experiences in class on a social network. Refrain from friending students or responding to friend requests from students on Facebook or Instagram. Personal laptops or any non-telephone electronic devices are not permitted on campus. Cell phones are to be turned off during the school day. Substitutes must be up walking around the room and monitoring students during the entire class period. Maintaining discipline revolves around the use of proximity. Do not use the teacher's computer for any reason. If the computer just happens to be left on, tell another teacher and get them to turn it off. If you need computer access during your break, you can usually find one in the library. You must call the substitute office and the school to cancel a job after canceling in the absence management system. Please note that excessive cancellations, more than 3 in any 90-day period, may result in a call or email from the substitute manager's office. Please be very careful about accepting multiple jobs through the Jobulator app and then canceling them later. Excessive cancellations may cause you to lose the privilege to cancel jobs on your own or to be removed from the substitute list. Substitutes must not leave campus during the school day. Substitutes are expected to hold in professional confidence any information regarding pupils, parents, or staff. Foods of minimum nutritional value, FMNV, may not be sold or given away to students on school premises by school administrators or staff, meaning principals, coaches, or teachers, students or student groups, parents or parent groups, guest speakers, or any other person, company, or organization. FMNVs are defined in federal regulations as having less than 5% of the RDA per serving for 8 key nutrients: calories, total fat, saturated fat, protein, calcium, iron, vitamin A, vitamin C, and includes soft drinks, water ices, chewing gum, and candies. Substitutes are expected to conduct themselves in a professional manner at all times. You should use a pleasant tone of voice and polite mannerisms when dealing with children, parents, and staff. Treat everyone with dignity. Substitutes are expected to be dressed and ready to go when taking last-minute assignments. Please refrain from repeatedly taking assignments after the start time. Please do not cancel a job to take another job for a friend or favorite school less than 7 days in advance of the original job. Any other action or cause which may place into question the education, health, and/or safety of the students and/or staff of the Mesquite ISD. Substitute evaluation. At the discretion of the principal, an evaluation of a substitute may be submitted to the personnel department. These evaluations may reflect satisfactory or unsatisfactory performance. Receipt of the unsatisfactory evaluations may result in a request for additional training. This will be at the discretion of the personnel director. You may be asked to schedule attendance at our next district orientation in an effort to provide you with a refresher on expectations and classroom management. Additionally, you could be asked to complete outside training at your own expense. This training is through an outside substitute training agency. You will be provided with the company name and person to contact. Once you have successfully completed the course and provided a copy of your certificate, you will be allowed to return to substitute duties for a 90-day probationary period or until the end of the school year, whichever comes first. At that time, the personnel director will decide if your probationary period is removed or extended. Unsatisfactory evaluations may also initiate the substitute's name being removed from the active substitute list in the best interest of the district. A sample substitute evaluation and record of disciplinary action are located in the Forms section of this handbook. Fingerprint subscriptions and arrests. Senate Bill 9 was passed by the 80th Legislature in 2007 and mandates that TEA acquire criminal history reports on charter school employees, certified and currently employed educators, substitutes, and non-certified employees hired after January 1, 2008. All employees of the school district must notify his or her immediate supervisor. For all substitutes, this is Larry Sanford, Director of Personnel, within 3 calendar days of any arrest, indictment, conviction, no contest or guilty plea or other adjudication of any felony and any of the other offenses listed below. An employee may be discharged if the district obtains information of the employee's conviction of a felony or crime involving moral turpitude that the employee did not disclose to SBEC, TEAL, or the district. Crimes involving school property or funds. Crimes involving attempt by fraudulent or unauthorized means to obtain or alter any certificate or permit that would entitle any person to hold or obtain a position as an educator. Crimes that occur wholly or in part on school property or at a school-sponsored activity. Crimes involving moral turpitude. Moral turpitude includes the following: dishonesty, fraud, deceit, theft, misrepresentation, deliberate violence, base, vile, or depraved acts that are intended to arouse or gratify the sexual desire of the actor. Crimes involving any felony possession or conspiracy to possess, or any misdemeanor or conspiracy to transfer, sell, or distribute any controlled substance. Felonies involving driving while intoxicated, DWI, or driving under the influence, DUI, of drugs or alcohol. Acts constituting abuse or neglect under the SBEC rules. Violating assessment instrument security procedures. Certified substitutes. If a holder of a certificate is arrested or criminally charged, the superintendent is also required to report the educator's criminal history to the Division of Investigations at TEA. Blood-borne pathogens. In order to protect yourself and children from the risk of indirect exposure to blood-borne pathogens, you should be aware of the ways you may become infected. The most likely exposure in the school classroom environment comes mainly from a student or co-worker who gets injured and is bleeding. Infected blood getting into an open cut or wound on your skin. infected blood getting into your eyes, inside your mouth, or inside your nose. Any object puncturing your skin which has infected blood on it, such as a needle. There is a very small risk from a bite that punctures your skin. Precautions you should take when assisting someone who is injured. To stop or slow the bleeding, you should instruct the injured person to apply direct pressure to the wound themselves if possible. If the student needs assistance to apply pressure or clean the wound, you must put on latex or vinyl gloves first. Send the student to see the nurse once the bleeding has stopped. If necessary, call the nurse to come and assist the student to help stop excessive bleeding. For cleanup of biological fluids like blood or throw up, please call for a custodian to assist. They have the appropriate disinfectant cleansers. You must report to the campus nurse any possible exposure to blood and/or needle sticks, sharps exposure immediately. Lockdown procedures. The principal of designee makes the announcement, "Please lock down the building." The classroom teacher locks the classroom door, places students in a corner away from the door and out of view from windows, and turns off the classroom lights. The campus shall remain in lockdown until notice is given by a public safety official or the campus principal that the threat has ended and it is safe to release the lockdown. When a lockdown is initiated, there should not be any movement of students from one classroom to another unless there is imminent danger and the movement of staff and students provides better safety. An internal building lockdown supersedes a fire alarm. If the alarm activates during a lockdown, do not automatically evacuate. If there is a fire or imminent danger from fire or smoke, evacuate immediately using the safest route possible. GHG clock-in steps. Click on the GHG icon. Enter username, your employee number, which is 4 or 5 digits and no leading zeros, and enter your password, the last 4 digits of your social security number. Click Clock In on the lower blue bar. Do not click Log In. Next, choose the charge code for the job you are working that day. Please note, if you are a sub-teacher but are working a substitute instructional or clerical, you would choose the para-charge code. Select your task. Choose the school that you are working at for the day. Hit Submit. Finally, in the upper right corner, click Sign Out. This signs you out of the GHG software. It does not clock you out. GHG Clock Out steps. Click on the GHG icon. Enter the username, your employee number, which is 4 or 5 digits with no leading zeros. Enter your password, the last 4 digits of your social security number. Click on Clock Out on the lower blue bar. Finally, in the upper right corner, click on Sign Out. This signs you out of GHG. You want to do this so others cannot access your information. Basics of Behavior Management, prepared by Kelly Smith. Her number is 972-882-7519, and her email is kesmith@mesquiteisd.org. Explain in specific terms. Model your expectations. Practice what you want to see. Remind frequently. And reinforce behaviors that you like. The basics of behavior management. Explain in specific terms what behavior you expect. Model what you expect. And practice the behavior. Remind frequently and reinforce the expected behavior. Positive thinking is important. Believe the behavior will get better and believe that the students will learn to make good choices. Teamwork is essential. Utilize the campus administration, teachers, and other faculty. Consistency is the key to success. Once you begin your plan, be consistent in implementing it. 3 keys to success. 1. Stay calm no matter what. 2. Give the child choices. And 3. Set limits and follow through with the consequences consistently. Remember, tone, volume, cadence. Talk low, talk slow. And don't say much at all. The limit test. Before a limit leaves your lips, it has to pass the limit test. The test: is the limit clear? Is the limit concise? Is the limit reasonable? Is the limit enforceable? Jim Fay's 4 steps to deal with arguing. Step 1. Go brain dead. Remember, there is nothing wrong with a kid that a little reasoning won't make worse. Never attempt to reason with a child. Don't attempt to explain your position. Logic does not work in these situations because the child is playing by a different set of rules than you are. He or she is not interested in facts and logic. He or she is interested in seeing you give up. Step 2. Choose a love and logic one-liner. Choose from, I care about you too much to argue. I respect you too much to argue. I bet it feels that way. That's an opinion. I understand. Probably so. How sad. Nice try. Thanks for noticing. Thanks for sharing. Step 3. Do not attempt to think. Become a broken record, saying the same one-liner for each new argument the child comes up with. Keep your voice soft. Allow any frustration to be that of the child and not you. Step 4. If the child continues to argue, for some very strong-willed or manipulative children, it is effective to say, I argue at 12:15 or 3:15 daily. What would work best for you? Then play broken record with this question. Don't give in to the temptation to match wits with the child. Avoid power struggles. You are in a power struggle if you find yourself defending your position, allowing name-calling or button-pushing to upset you, bringing up past history, delivering threats or excessive consequences. Some things to remember. You can only change yourself. You are in control of how you react, not how the student reacts. Get the student involved in the problem-solving process. Avoid reinforcing the inappropriate behavior. Continue to set limits that are clear, concise, reasonable, and enforceable, and follow through with the consequences consistently. Remember to teach what behaviors you expect and have the student replace that behavior with the inappropriate one. Allow enough time for the student to respond before repeating the request. And finally, remember that if you want a behavior to happen again, make a big deal out of it. The more attention you give an inappropriate or an appropriate behavior, the more likely the student will do it again. Therefore, give minimal attention to misbehaviors and major attention to the behavior you expect and want the student to display again. Love and logic tips, taken from Jim Fay's Discipline with Love and Logic. Tip 1. Begin with empathy. Avoid sarcasm. Empathetic responses are, how sad, bummer, oh, this is hard, oh, no, Tip 2. Stop arguments with one-liners. Probably so. I know. Nice try. How sad. Bummer. That's an opinion. I bet that's true. I bet it feels that way. Thanks for sharing. What do you think you're going to do? Could be. I don't know. What do you think? Thanks for noticing. Try not to worry about it. I respect you too much to argue with you. Tip 3. Better ways to say no. Say yes more than no to your students. Examples. May I sharpen my pencil? Yes, when I'm not teaching. May I draw? Yes, at lunch or in art. May I talk? Yes, at lunch, after school, on your time. May I go to? Yes, when you finish that assignment. Tip 4. Use delayed consequences as often as possible. Stay calm. Be empathetic. Say to the child, oh, that kind of behavior is a problem. I'm busy teaching right now, so I'll get back to you later. Try not to worry. Employee self-service, payroll calendar, and forms information. Employee self-service information is in a separate section of this orientation. The payroll calendar can be found using the link in this orientation. Forms. They can be accessed with the forms link in this orientation.